Let's go. Let's sharpen our skills on life.
Don't you know that you're the truth? This can't be true. You are a one percenter. You're out of reach to everyone but me. You are my king. You are a one percenter. When you front, I understand. You seek protection.
If we were to design our very own planetary system, then we must first assume the role of God Supreme. Let us imagine that we are above it all because we created it all. We put everything in order, connected all of the pieces, and we even placed the high priest on the game board to serve as our terrestrial representative. The representative is the center of all things because we are the center of all things. We are worthy of praise because we are the creator with the master plan. Nonetheless, when the game board is shaken and everything is thrown out of alignment, then the players or the pieces on the game board begin to question the design and the designer altogether. Our credibility is on the line because it is our job to keep order and stability. Observing the incongruity and disharmony, a reasonable observer might first ask a key question and then consider the possible answers. Naturally, the observer would ask, what caused the game board to shake? A, the designer, B, an outside entity, or C, the creation. In other words, the pieces on the game board. If the correct answer is A, and it is the designer who shook the table, then there are a few different ways of evaluating the problem. First, the supreme designer's will is to shake the board. With us being the supreme designer in this exercise, maybe we shook the table in order to increase the difficulty and the level of competitiveness of our players. We seek to develop grit and character in our players so that they can undoubtedly be worthy of the prize, a seat at the table. Was it our good and brilliant minds that motivated us to build difficulty into the design because it would all work out for the greater good? Or was it our deviant and wicked minds that motivated us to bring disharmony, calamity, and struggle into the game because we enjoy watching the toil and sweat of our own creation? An observer would also consider the possibility that the supreme designer shook the game board unintentionally. Perhaps the designer is simply clumsy and ill-equipped. If this is the case, then the designer is not supreme and very well may not be the true designer of this planetary system, but instead a phony and an identity thief. Either way it goes, a little helping hand from the designer would be nice, because the pieces on the game board cannot likely pick themselves up if they have fallen to the floor. They cannot guide themselves if they have been scattered about, nor can they provide for themselves their daily bread. Let us move now to a different way of thinking. Maybe the designer is not the problem after all. The shaking of the game board could have been caused by an outside entity. If this be the case, then you have been put on notice that you are not the only God in the galaxy. And in fact, you might have an enemy of equal or greater might. Everything that you built might now be at risk. The observer or problem solver might consider another unthinkable possibility. Did one or more of the little players on the game board cause the shaking and the unrest? If so, then the Creator is being challenged by the creation. The creation could have been driven to rebellion for various reasons. A. Maybe the creation feels neglected, disregarded, or abused. Imagine us as the supreme designer. Are we guilty of these accusations? If so, is the rebellion not warranted? Is the creation misguided in its beliefs? Or is it being manipulative due to delusion and the lust for power? Maybe some of the players believe that they should have been chosen as high priest instead of the representative that we chose. Is jealousy driving the rebellion? Has the creation lost faith? Does it not believe that we are its creator? We must consider the creation's inferior position, its lack of understanding, and its limited knowledge and strength. The players should also consider the same limitations in one another. They are eligible for forgiveness according to how they forgive one another. As the supreme designer of this imagined planetary system, it is our job to guide the players through rules and regulations so that they will not easily fall into the traps and temptations inherent in the challenge of this competition. The master designer must establish stability and a permanent foundation so that any shaking of the game board is insignificant in the overall scheme of things.
Pater noster, qui es in caelis, sanctificetur nomen tuum, adveniat regnum tuum, fiat voluntas tua, sicut in caelo et in terra. Panem nostram quotidianum da nobis hodie, et dimite nobis debita nostra, sicut et nos dimittimus debitoribus nostris, et ne nos inducas in tentationem, sed libera nos a malo.
Quia tuum is regnum, et gloria, et potestas, in saecula saeculorum.
Don't you know that you're the truth? This can't be true. You are a one-percenter. You're out of reach to everyone but me. You are my king.